Bizarro, Year None. Then getting a bit crazy with the Mad Magazine DC crossover. Poison Ivy is featured in both her ongoing and Batman this week. Deadpool celebrates his favorite holiday with a special, titled April Fool's Day. Daredevil crashes the party making everything serious in his new ongoing. Captain Marvel's history is revealed in Dark Past. Get in the know with Ghost Machine's official guidebook. G.I. Joe Real American Hero goes quite in an all-new batch of silent missions starting off with Baroness. And follow two telepathic twins as they try to hustle the best of the best in poker with Royals #1. Magic the Gathering Untold Stories turns its eyes on Jace in a new mini-series. Take a peek at The Prelude, Tyler Rake, an Extraction story before the series premieres on Netflix. The conclusion of TMNT vs. Godzilla lands. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.
April Fools.
April Fools.
April Fools.
Is it an April
There's
Fool's
no comics. Just kidding.
I think it's an April Fool's joke based on all of the nasty things you said while I was away. So what you're saying?
What did I say? You ain't got no proof.
I am not dead. I did not run away or get hit by a car. None of those things happened. I'm here. I'm back.
You did run away. Don't give me unless you were kidnapped, you ran away, right? Those are the two options. You either chose to not be here, or you got taken from not be here, or you were here. So which of the three? Yeah. But
yeah.
But we're back at it again because Richie something Stockholm Syndrome, and he's back for another round of comics.
Yes.
Did you get a tan?
I don't know if I got a tan. I tried to hide from the sun mostly, as you do as a nerd.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, we are back. I am happy to be here for the half-hour hype, talking about new comic books dropping tomorrow. These are physical copies that have released. You can't get them physically until tomorrow, but you can shop around if you join us right here on our website at iwantmorecomics.com and click that sweet button called New Releases This Week.
Oh, looky there. It's like right on cue.
Right there. These are the pages that Keith and I will meander through. We've already taken a quick look, and I do mean quick today, of things that we'd like to talk about.
There's nobody on the other side of the camera that needs to know how disorganized we were today, okay?
But we have a show for you. Luckily for us, there are a ton of #1s to kick off our April month. We will be releasing all these on April 1st, but there are no jokes here. These are straight up just things that we think you should be interested in and maybe jump in to pick them up or plan to grab them up tomorrow.
Yeah, and there's some solids.
There are. I don't have them in any order, Keith. So this is going to be a fun. You're going to just be surfing like crazy. So
whatever.
I'll start with a few of the most independent ones that I saw that I think are going to be hidden behind all the shine of some cool #1s that we have coming out.
Okay.
But we will start with Antarctic Press and their #1, which is Cosplayer versus Shark. I think the cover alone is going to sell some comic books. But it's going to be a quick, indie story, mixing up kind of a ridiculous aspect of a comic book creator being eaten by a giant shark, and several cosplayers join to try to catch the killer. So it's like Jaws with some interesting hiccups in the nerd world. I think it's very niche, and I think it's perfect for people that would be big comic book goers and don't want you to miss out.
We don't have to really highlight too much there, much more than the homage cover. That will draw enough people.
That's really it, right?
That's a lot there, and all this. The interior could just be a fun little side trip, and all this. But your Jaws chasers will be after this book.
Yeah. From there, we're going to go over to Dark Horse Comics, which has a new #1 from an underground king called Gru the Prophecy. Sergio Aragones and his creation continue in a new, I believe this is a 4-issue miniseries. It does say 1 of 4 right there. So, yep, I'm guessing correctly. But this is how he typically kind of releases with 4-parters. Those that follow Hellboy kind of feel the same style of release. So this is for my Gru fans. He likes to pop up without being like notifications. So here is your big spotlight. Don't miss out. Gru is back.
And he brought Mark Evanier is almost always working with him on Gru nowadays.
Yes.
But to see Stan Sakai on this too, that's a little extra treat for those people who know. Of course, this is those are long-term buddies that have been, working on comic books for a great deal of time.
Yeah, excellent call out.
Did you see that Richie's book is here? Look at him. Richie's even on the cover of this. Like,
if it's not my book, but I did want to highlight it. We do not have a lot of these because hardcovers and stuff. We just kind of bring one for the option of someone to purchase. If you are interested in a lot of trades and things, I would suggest watching us on our Sunday show, Final Orders Due, to make sure you never miss out on those. But we do have a limited amount of these available, featuring one of my favorite comic books of the year, favorite single comic books of the year. And he's referencing it right here on the page. Kevin talks about losing his beloved friend and actress Shannen Doherty, and what the Mallrats 2 script would be. And so he plays that out and writes it into a comic book. But he also did a podcast with her. And if you listen to the podcast while reading the book, it actually plays out the whole thing in front of your eyes, which I think is incredibly unique to the comic book world. And it absolutely pulls at the heartstrings. So if you're into Mallrats, if you're into like Grant Morrison style writing, which he references obviously from Animal Man, this is his kind of homage to that, and a beautiful send off to Shannen Doherty. All within the 4 books of this Quick Stops Volume 3 hardcover. So genuinely don't miss out on this. If you haven't got it, I think a hardcover is a great way to collect it.
Yep. They came out real nice.
And if you want to stick with Dark Horse, was it Dark Horse?
Yeah, Magic, if that's another number one you had.
Yes, thank you. Yes, Jace. We just finished Elspeth of Magic the Gathering Untold Stories, and now we are moving on to Jace, starting with a new number 1. Going to dive into the mage, and it's called Crime Spree. So my Magic lore is very light. I could benefit from reading a book like this. It is a 4-part miniseries that I'm sure that Matthew, my cohort, will be very interested in. If he doesn't know it all.
Magic consistently will do stories like this, whether they used to write it as just text or take it into the comic format, but they will always expand on their own lore in alternate ways like this. It's been on websites, it's been in formats like this. They are all meant to be in-universe story. So it's not, you're not going to be reading this and going, wait a minute, that's not my Jace. No, they're all done very well for that.
That is correct. All right, we'll jump over to Ignition Press with a new release for them. Another kind of directly tied to something that's already been optioned. Extraction is a film on Netflix. This is going to be the prequel to that, featuring Tyler Rake, the main character from the story. Kind of building more depth within the world of this property. Ignition's always impressed me with this stuff, and I don't think this will fall any shorter than all the rest. This is a lot of good characters, or a creative team here. Andy Parks from Daredevil and Ronan Click from Nightwing. I think this will be a high action, high octane, deep thriller storytelling. So don't miss out.
Yep, set up and ready to go there.
From there, we can jump over to Image Comics.
Our friends Image. All right.
Image, I have I wanted to talk about the one shot first. Kilroy is here. Throughout history, Kilroy is an unknown origin of power and is cursed to wander the earth, avenging innocent, protecting the weak, and always leaves his trademark signature. Kilroy was here. So what if that's actually a lie? What if this feels very Azrael to me, when it comes to Batman, where there's a killer of vengeance that might not understand what his actual mission was supposed to be. The thing is, I think it'll be kind of a twisty turn kind of storytelling, and with it being a one shot at only $3.99, I think it's an easy buy for those even slightly interested.
Yeah, and Joe Pruitt, the writer,
Yes.
has had the recent. I'm missing it. It's the Moon book, right?
I think it's a Moon book. Yes.
God, I'm gonna look real bad and not remember it. But it's been recently, and it's still ongoing here at Image. So if you've been reading that, you'll have a.
Is he the Mark Spector Moon Knight? So we're talking about. Or is the moon? No, the moon's following us. That's not.
No,
it.
I wanted to say it was called Wet Moon, but I'm wrong about that and all this. It's just
okay.
It's been a little bit delayed. We
I
just
know which one you're talking about.
Yeah, and I've lost. It's got a werewolf on the cover. I'm lost. I'm floundering now. So we'll move on from that.
But you are right. It's a great book, and I mean Pruitt's well known. Like even outside of that book, he knows how to write, and I think it'll be. Again, that $3.99 price point for a one shot, a one and done, feels very, very good.
I will not ignore the Brian Bolland cover of this.
No, you should not. Yeah.
Holy.
And this is what I'm talking about. You should support any time that we get kind of like a cheaper comic. You should support that by spending money. That's how you teach big companies to learn. So I would definitely give this a shot if you're interested. And that Bolland cover, what's the Bolland for? Is it $4.99?
Yeah, the Beats is $4.99 for a one and done story. Like there is a 1 in 10 Brian Bolland that's a little bit more that we have one copy there. And
there you go.
It's pretty good too. But
features all the Bolland crazy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of bonus there.
All right. Moving on from that, we have new original content called Royals. Royals is going to be basically kind of to me like your classic poker style movie. We have the twin brothers, but they have this telepathic communication they can do, and they're going to use that to outsmart others. Obviously things go awry, they go high risk for high reward, and potentially that slips up into the muck and they are now taken. So I think it'll be a great run. I think it's a mini series, which means it won't be all that long. Derek Kirkham is new to me, so I am excited. But I love high stakes poker style stories, so I'm pretty much in.
Yeah, and you've got the common level of like one guy's the Flash and one guy's the Quiet, kind of thing, and all this.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I think there's some really good, fun story elements on that, and the two main character covers here and all this are just so well designed.
Yeah, it feels very like playing within the trope, knowing what it is, and that's a good thing, being self-aware. So,
yep.
All right, moving on to G.I. Joe, Real American Hero. This is the silent missions featuring Baroness. This is in celebration of the silent issue of G.I. Joe Real American issue. Top of my head, issue 21.
21 is correct. You got it right.
Did I really?
Yeah.
Yes, nice. So issue 21, celebrating that iconic shift in comic book art and reading style, trying to create a general beginning, middle, and end with character development without using words. We've already done this with 5 G.I. Joe members, and now we are moving on to 5 Cobra members and kind of seeing how they do. We start with Baroness, who is arguably one of the top tier Cobra characters. I think this will be great for anybody that enjoys, obviously, G.I. Joe, but genuinely, if you like diving into comic book niches that are strictly comic book, you don't get better than silent issues to me. I think that they can only be portrayed in this medium, and we should celebrate that. So don't miss out. They're all one shots. I think we're going to get one each week, so I'll probably be talking about them a lot. We start off with Baroness number 1.
Yeah, we'll point them out.
All right. I think that's it for my Image. So we will move on to. Oh, I just killed that. Let's go to Marvel. We got a lot in Marvel to go over.
Yeah, tons to cover on this show. All right.
All right. We will begin with Marvel Rivals. Has a new #1, which they've been kind of doing. This is very typical of Marvel Rivals, just kind of recapping, I think, all of the digital comics within the game. So if you've been following along, this is a great. These are great content. One of the first things I noticed when I joined on the video game Marvel Rivals was how in depth they were going, like how far they were taking their kind of world creation. And this is a celebration of that fact. There really is almost their ongoing continuity line, just fully separate, creating a different Elseworld, if you will. So Marvel Rivals is huge, and I think video game fans and Marvel fans all alike should enjoy, regardless of the fact that Namor and his silly wings are on the cover. I think there's 2 covers there.
You can go to cover B if you'd like there and all this and get, the masked Jeff, but you still do get wings. So,
you still get wings, but that masked Jeff almost takes it away. From there, let's talk about, I'll skip you all the way to the top, doing Alien King Killer. This is Alien King Killer, is how I should say that. This is a new #1 from the Alien franchise, as they've been kind of running with short mini stories. This one is the first chapter of a newer, darker era that they're kind of moving towards. I will say that in general, both Predator and Alien have been very dark and gritty, and actually pushing the limits of what people are recognizing as Marvel editorial. So that's in a good way. So if you've been enjoying Alien, I think that King Killer is going to be dope. And all the covers continue my conspiracy theory that there has never been a bad Alien or Predator cover. And you can look and try to defy that.
Definitely for the fandom, they get a lot of it, different
really
options
do.
for that. So some really solid.
We'll talk about the 2 characters that are getting new issues, starting with Captain Marvel. Getting another #1, and this is kind of diving into the past of Captain Marvel. This one's called Dark Past. This is genuinely Captain Marvel's probably one of the most splintered when it comes to origin and what people consider continuity and what people consider potentially dreams or attacks and things like this. This is really kind of resurfacing all of those things, polishing it up, and then giving you a complete storyline of the actual origin of Captain Marvel.
I think you have one of your variant runways here.
We definitely do. Yes.
Pretty. This is gonna be tough choices for everyone who's playing along at home and all this. The 1 in 50 is really fun for the Jim Starlin, although that's not going to be for everybody, obviously, for the price point on that. But that is amazing art that they've pulled back from Starlin there. But when you're choosing between Ejikure, Fan Yang, J. Scott Campbell, Joel Jones, David Nakayama, that's some tough times.
It really, really is. You can't go wrong with any of them. I know that there's Campbell Soup Hunters, so there's a lot of greatness with this #1. Don't miss out on that. Another runway and another amazing new #1. Daredevil is back, and not just on the TV screen. We have a new Daredevil featuring Stephanie Phillips behind the wheel here, but new ongoing for our boy in red. Obviously, it's hard to say like, hey, this new character, pick it up and blah blah blah. But Daredevil has a special place in a lot of people's hearts. I think that it's a great time to refocus on him and his kind of gritty version of justice throughout his small little town. And I do think that Stephanie Phillips has a potential to really find and ground him and lean on the emotional side of what this is doing to him as a whole. A lot of ego is going to be challenged in this run. I'm excited. I think you want to pick it up straight from here. Not only is there an incredible amount of amazing covers that I know Keith will talk about, but I am going to softball the concept of a blind bag that also might be appearing. Yes. So what is that bad boy?
They're doing another blind bag. The last time we saw this was with the Ultimate Endgame.
That's correct, yes.
And we had those come through. They were very popular. The blind bags have a lot of options. I think my thing's backwards, so you're not going to be able to read that because all those words are backwards there. But tons of options, which do include, I'll point out that there is the Daniel Warren Johnson Virgin Blind Bag exclusive.
Okay.
So again, if you say like this cover, right?
Yeah.
That's a good cover. You can straight up buy the Daniel Warren Johnson, or in the blind bag, you would just have a shot at finding a rare virgin version of that.
Goodness.
The same is true for our fave Dan Panosian.
That's going to be a virgin as well.
There are those inside
Ooh.
there.
Ooh.
And then the high, very rare, never happens except for, I don't know why it always seems to happen here. There is artist sketched, and there are Hollywood signed.
Yeah.
So you can find signed by some of the people.
If I get any of those signatures, I'm going to lose my mind.
What's that?
I'd lose my mind getting a signature from anyone in Daredevil. Anyone.
Yeah, it could be pretty good on this. We did have a good question out here, Nellis. Are these damaged too? Here's the deal. I did not get this confirmed, but the conversation that's going on, Daredevil was postponed. Okay, this was supposed to have already been out, but it was postponed. And the conversation is that they believe that Marvel postponed it, did research as to how the Ultimate Endgame ones were damaged, fixed the problem, and then these are not damaged. And there have been people who have been breaking the rules and showing them out on Whatnot and opening up a whole bunch online.
That never happens.
No, it never happens. But they have been coming out of the bags undamaged. So we feel that it does seem like that Marvel did listen to the consumer, did turn around, put some effort into this, and we do believe them to be in much better condition. We had opened up 2 that we turned around and saw, and ours were not damaged at all. The covers that we got, right here, you can see the Greg Land.
Nice.
And then the other one that we got here, the Rose Bash is pretty nice.
Ooh, nice.
So they do come with the overcover to keep them a little nicer and to disguise if there was, say, like a signed or a sketched one inside. I really appreciate that they make it where these can't be searched and go there. We did bring in a decent amount of them. They have said that more are available to reorder if we'd like. If we saw additional people grabbing onto them, then we'd worry about that. But we are going to start the week. This is going to be one of the new release books that will have a limit of 3 per person. We understand how people like turning around and trying their odds and seeing if they can find something good and want to try a little bit more than just one. There were a couple customers that got way ahead of the game and pre-ordered more than 3. And that's why you pre-order, because you can turn around and set your own limits at pre-order time. But these will be on the rack tomorrow, including all these great covers that you turn around and see there.
Excellent. And if you get the Sienkiewicz original sketch, I hate you. All right.
Now, last time when we had the Ultimate one of the sketches was hit here. A Ron Limp was hit. So, and we did it with the Batman Superman. We had a
hit there too.
And then
your chance is real.
And we did with the Green Arrow on the Harley's Little Black Bag where there was a sketched one in there.
I remember that, yeah.
Our customers have found them before. It is real. It is just rare.
Yeah. All right. We will move from there to the silliness of it. It is, of course, April Fool's Day, so we're going to have some wacky comics. Deadpool is celebrating that and trying to take on the moniker of April Fool's Day with the focus of a one-shot featuring the great Gail Simone behind the wheel. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be funny and humorous and juvenile. grab it, have a good time, celebrate the insanity that is April Fool's Day.
The gym rug is amazing. What about me?
Last one is Wonder Man. Wonder Man is also getting a new comic book. I hope that they kind of lean into the brilliance that was Wonder Man, the TV show. If you didn't watch that, I would give it a shot. I know people are kind of like meh on the series from Marvel, the MCU, but this one I think brought it back to a concise, nuanced story that dives into the depth behind the character rather than just putting up the facade of what you see is what you get. Hopefully this story, I mean, Gary Dugan knows how to do that, so I do kind of see like that's a potential, and the Guggenheim artwork will keep you through every single page flipping along. Jump on it, give the first one a shot, see if you want to add that bad boy to your ongoing pulls.
We have had strong orders on this.
Moving on from there, one of the ones I deleted, but I know I want to talk about it, is DC Comics has a new #1 that is kind of under the radar for the creative talent pushed behind it, but it's called Bizarro Year None. It's going to be a mini series with Kevin Smith behind the writing duties of this great and misunderstood hero. That part is unique and fun that I think people will jump on just because Smith's behind it. He's not the only one there. Who's the other writer? I got rid of it.
Let me pull it up. That is Eric Carrasco.
Yes, so him and Eric are taking on writing duties there, but they're also incredible variants, including the Dan Mora cameo variant. The cameo variant's important because it matches with a cameo variant that is being released with Batman Superman this week, featuring the great Weird Al. And of course, Weird Al is totally normal Al in the Bizarro universe. I think it's unique, it's fun, and great for an April Fool's issue. There's going to be, that story I think is going to be an under the radar banger for Kevin Smith. So, but issue 50 is coming out for World's Finest, which is a milestone. So they went hard with the variants. I would pick up both the cameos to make sure you have them. Don't miss out.
The other thing about Bizarro Year None, by the way,
yes.
art is Nick Patara.
Yeah.
Who did all of Manhattan projects with Hickman.
Yeah. So
that's
it's gonna be. I genuinely think it's gonna be good. I'm reading that first tonight because I think I'll be pitching that all week long. So then from there, DC's not going to let off on it being April Fool's Day, and they brought back Matt Fraction, Gail Simone, Scotty Young, Sergio Aragonis, and Charles Soule, and many more to the fray for Mad About DC #1, a Mad magazine kind of celebrating all the insanity and just making fun of the medium that we all love. If we can't make fun of ourselves, we can't make fun of anyone else. So clearly we're going to roast each other. So pick this book up. There's a lot of there's actually 2 really good variants on this one too. Zdarsky's doing one and Simon Beasley. I think either one's phenomenal. Don't miss out. Pick one that's your favorite and just have fun with it. That's the whole point. It's an $8 book to celebrate the ridiculousness that is comic books. And if we don't recognize that, you should probably get out the game.
Beasley on Lobo. That's,
I know, right?
Pretty big so hitter good. There. Yeah.
It's so good. We only have a minute left, so I have a couple honorable mentions I want to talk about. Right now, we have this really cool from Inside Editions. The DC mini comics, Tiny Book and pin sets came out, and they look great. Like I didn't really understand what they were before, but man, when they're so teeny, and it's great. I really like it. I think it's a unique collectible item. Over at DC, there's going to be the unlimited trade paperback compendium of Batman Beyond. Woo! Does that thing look awesome? Very, very sexy. I could not. You need to come see it, but we do have a limited amount available, so be very fast if you're not sure. If you're slightly interested in Batman Beyond, I'd pick this bad boy up.
Yeah, you get Volume 3, Volume 4, the Unlimited series, and several other one-shots in this.
Unreal. The other thing is Oni Press has Murder Drones #1 second printing releasing, and the second issue. Again, these things are flying off the shelves. We cannot keep them on there. If you're even close, if you have a inkling that you want to read this book, purchase it right here. Or if you're on our portal system, make sure you get into your portal right now, because this book will be gone. It's a huge hit to a different audience. It's not necessarily the comic book collector audience, but they are out there just eating up any IP they can get, or any medium they can get with this IP, that is.
They like the content.
They really do. Narco from Image Comics also has a second printing. Tigress Island also has a second printing. So if you missed out on those, make sure to pick them up. And finally, another hardcover, but boy, what a hardcover. Paul Dini, Alex Ross, DC Comics, Wonder Woman, Spirit of Truth. Outside of what Tom King is doing right now, George Perez and what he did to the character, the original creator, and this are all my top tier Wonder Woman stories. Insanely stunning artwork through every single page here. Again, very limited. Again, you want to pick it up very fast if you're slightly interested. Can't recommend it enough. And that is what we have for today. And I say this, no April Fools. All of that's true from the heart. Pick it up when you can.
Plenty more to look at. Please review the website or the portal and make sure that all your selections are in there. We will be back at it on this Bat channel come tomorrow night at 5:30. It might be chaos. I don't know. I'm just gonna drop it out like that and see what happens.
Do it live is how we say it here.
Yep. But we recommend you join us then, and we appreciate all you hanging out with us tonight. See you again.
Don't miss in 26. Check out the highlights for New Comic Book Day April 1st, 2026. April Fool's Day brings out all the wild with DC dropping Bizarro, Year None. Then getting a bit crazy with the Mad Magazine DC crossover. Poison Ivy is featured in both her ongoing and Batman this week. Deadpool celebrates his favorite holiday with a special, titled April Fool's Day. Daredevil crashes the party, making everything serious in his new ongoing. Captain Marvel's history is revealed in Dark Past. Get in the know with Ghost Machine's official guidebook. G.I. Joe Real American Hero goes quite in an all-new batch of silent missions, starting off with Baroness. And follow two telepathic twins as they try to hustle the best of the best in poker with Royals #1. Magic the Gathering Untold Stories turns its eyes on Jace in a new mini-series. Take a peek at The Prelude, Tyler Rake, an Extraction story before the series premieres on Netflix. The conclusion of TMNT vs. Godzilla lands. Get what you want, and more, at iwantmorecomics.com.